Hello, everybody. Today I am going to be doing a tier list on every Five Nights at Freddy's game that is currently out because I thought it'd be kind of fun and a break from what I normally do that's FNAF related. So yeah, but before I do get into this though, I want to mention a couple things. Number one, I'm making a video on a game that I've been wanting to play for a while. It's a FNAF fan game, and it's gonna be coming this Saturday or this Sunday. I'm not sure yet. It's gonna be coming one of those 2 days though. If you want to know what that game is, join my Discord server, link in description, and you'll be able to figure it out. You can also chat with me and everybody else in the server because I really want to try and grow it. I forgot to mention one thing. If you want to see me rank every FNAF fan game, then make sure to like the video and join the Discord, and that'll let me know that you want to see it. And also make sure to comment letting me know you want to see it as well. Thanks. So yeah, that's really it though. So we're gonna get started. So yeah, no, we're gonna start with FNAF 1. To be honest, FNAF 1 is like probably around A or B tier, because I've had some good memories of this game. I've played it since 2014 whenever it came out. And I played it on phone because I didn't really have a PC then. So I played it on my phone, and I remember I like Golden Freddy. I think one of my friends got like the Bonnie death screen thing, and just there was a lot of good memories with it. And I remember I beat Night 6 first try on it, and I was really shocked. And we were in like a car ride. But I just think that like it's probably like either a B or an A tier. I'm gonna put in A tier just because I think that's a good spot for it. But that game is still kind of fun to go back to, and the 20 mode is very fun but very irritating sometimes. So yeah, on to FNAF 2. I think that FNAF 2 is probably, there's only one thing that's holding it from S tier. I would put FNAF 2 in S tier, but the reason I'm gonna also put it in A tier is because the cameras are basically useless. You'd have no purpose to switch to or look at any camera besides the music box for the entire game. Which makes me really wish there was maybe like a mechanic where like you have to switch cameras or like find a character on a camera or something like that. Kind of like Phantom Balloon Boy. I kind of wish there was something like that though, just because the cameras feel really pointless, and that's the only reason why it's not going into S tier. FNAF 3 is gonna come to a shock as for most people, because a lot of people don't really like FNAF 3. They say it's the weakest one out of all of them, but to be honest, I would probably put FNAF 3 at an S tier, and I'll tell you why. Okay, don't like click off or flame me because of this. Okay, but the reason why I put FNAF 3 in S tier is because that is probably my favorite game in the entire series, besides Security Breach. But we'll get to that later. FNAF 3 is so much fun, and I love the story elements in the game, in that game specifically, that in FNAF 4, but I like them the most in FNAF 3. I love all the mechanics. I love how the game looks. Looks the best out of all of them in my opinion, out of all the Scott Cawthon ones. I love the cameras. I really like Springtrap's mechanic, even if it is a little simple and it's easy to kind of lock him in place. I just really like it, and having to keep track of him while we're booting stuff. And aggressive armor mode is so hard, and I've not beaten it because it's it's probably the hardest 20 mode, quote unquote, that I've done so far. I've not done FNAF 4's 20 mode, but I feel like I could probably do it because I did beat Nightmare mode, I think. And that was pretty easy, actually. I beat Night 6 on like my second try as well, on FNAF 4. But FNAF 3 is just probably my favorite Scott Cawthon FNAF game. And also, a heads up, there's only one game on here that I haven't played. I'm just going to go ahead and place it right now. You know, actually, I'm going to make a new tier for games I haven't played, because I haven't played one of the games here, and you can probably guess what it is, to be honest. Let me make a new tier. I couldn't add an apostrophe and haven't, because it looks weird if I do, so. But the only game in the series, in all of FNAF I haven't played, is Help Wanted, because I don't have a VR headset, and I don't really want to play it in flat mode, because I feel like that kind of takes away from the experience. I feel like it's meant to be played in VR, which it is, but I want to get a VR headset before I play Help Wanted, to be honest, just because I think that'll be the most fun. Anyways, back on track to the main games. FNAF 4, that's another S tier. I love FNAF 4. Personally, I think it has some of the best mechanics along with FNAF 3. I really, really like how you listen in to the doors, even if it is a little loud. For me, the best volume I got on my computer, I have like the volume at like 68, and that's just like the perfect volume to listen. And if you get jump scared, it's not that loud. I mean, it's still loud, of course, but it's not that loud. And to me, it's just the perfect volume. I love the mini games. I love the story that it tells as well. I just think it's objectively one of the best games in the entire series. I just think it's generally one of the best. So, next one would be FNAF World, I believe. FNAF World, I would give it a B tier. Not because I disliked it or I didn't like it as much as the other ones, because I really, really like and also enjoy FNAF World. But the only reason it's B tier is because it's so rough starting out. Like, once you've beaten the game for the first time, or beaten it several times, it's so difficult to, like, do an entire run without getting a Halloween character. Because it takes so long to get characters. And doing a casual playthrough doesn't really work because you already know where everything is, so you go to next areas really quickly, and that kind of sucks. And there's also quite a few glitches that I actually encounter. Even if they're rare glitches, I still encounter them pretty often, surprisingly. Which, I mean, it's almost a 7-year-old game, so that's kind of to be expected, but so it kind of takes away from the experience, but it's fine. I really like the collecting aspect, and I also don't like it because it's RNG, it's luck, whether you get one or not, and it seems like it takes forever, but then it's also kind of fun because, you know, it gives you an incentive to look for the new characters and just the good characters in general. Sister Location. Sister Location's kind of tricky because I was gonna replay it, but I have not replayed this game since probably 2018, I would say. It's been a long time since I've played Sister Location. From what I've heard recently, a lot of people have actually came out about not liking it, which is understandable considering the points that they made. It's understandable why they don't like it. I don't really know if I can. Okay, from memory, I would say it's probably there with FNAF World. From memory, from what I remember, Entered is still really hard, but from memory, I would say it's probably a B tier, just because I mean actually, no, I'm gonna jump to a C tier because Night 4 and Night 3 are so difficult. Not even Funtime Foxy in Night 3, just Night 3 with Bon Bon is so hard, and Night 4 with the mini arenas is really, really difficult as well. And that really draws it back a lot. And also, I mean, it's a good game. I just feel like it's one of the weaker ones in the series, but it's still a really good game. You know, it's a good game. It has probably some of my favorite characters from the FNAF series in Sister Location. Pizzeria Simulator. I'm gonna say one thing really fast. I don't get why people dislike the jump scares so much in Pizzeria Simulator. I don't think they're that bad. I kind of like them, but then I also can see why people don't like them because it's like 5 frames. But you know, it's like 5 frames. That's the entire jump scare, but I still kind of like them. Yet again, I haven't replayed this game in a while. This is one of the few. This one in Sister Location. But from what I remember, which is more than Sister Location, surprisingly, I like this one. I'd probably get this one about a B or an A, just because first of all, I love every character in that game. All the characters are great in that game. The night segments, while I haven't really experienced them that much, I would say they're pretty alright. They're pretty alright. They kind of bring back the listening from FNAF 4 on top of some other stuff. You have to strategize probably more in this game than really any other FNAF game, not counting FNAF World, but I would say it's probably an A tier. Ultimate Custom Night though. Ultimate Custom Night, B tier. And I put it in B tier is just because I feel like after your first experience with the game kind of falls off a little bit. Even if you have interesting ideas, like I know my most popular video is Ultimate Custom Night video, but like it gets kind of boring and repetitive, to be honest, just because it's just the same characters over and over again. And my highest score is 9,000 points, but that took a long time to get, and I feel like practicing for 50/20 mode knowing that it's mostly RNG based would not really be that fun. So I feel like that kind of puts it down to B tier and makes it not as good as it could have been in my eyes. I mean, don't get me wrong, every single game in the series is phenomenal. All of them are really good games. It's just I don't think that some of them are that good compared to others, which is to be expected, to be honest. Special delivery. This game used to be fun. It's not as good anymore. I didn't really like the UI change. I kind of wish that it was how it was before, how it was just like the shock and the flashlight. I kind of wish they didn't add like abilities and stuff. And also the abilities, you have to tap on them to use them, so that means things like the shield are basically useless. Because, like, if you think it's just gonna work, then they're gonna run up on you and you're gonna die because you thought that the shield was activated, but you have to press it to activate it. But that can be difficult and stressful situations in the game, so that kind of sucks. So I kind of wish that the UI was the classic one, or maybe you could switch to the classic one. I don't really know. I mean, that wouldn't really work because the abilities exist, but I mean, AR is still pretty good though. I would probably put it in C tier. It's by pretty good I mean like it's decent. You know, it's a fun game to play every once in a while. It doesn't really get that old in my opinion. It just stays consistent. But it's not one I would go back to like, oh my gosh, I have to play FNAF Air. Like it's not one I would do that to just because I mean, unless there was like a cool event or something, then that would be the only reason. And now the last one, which is, I'm gonna just go ahead and say, I already said it earlier, but Security Breach is the one that, well, okay, you know, I did say it was my favorite. Also, it's S tier, by the way. But I was gonna say it was my favorite, and I did say that. It's not my favorite, but it's easily the one that I've had the most fun with out of every single game ever. Like, FNAF game, not every single game. FNAF 3 is still my favorite FNAF game, but Security Breach is my second favorite and the one I've had the most fun out of every FNAF game. And let me tell you why. Because, first of all, I first played it like 2 months ago. I first played it like a couple weeks after my Minecraft Maps FNAF video, if you want to call it that, I guess. I first played it like a week or two after I posted that. And after that, I loved that game so much that I tried to do like as much as I could in the game, and it was really fun. Like it was all around, it was an amazing experience. And I'm kind of glad I waited till it was fixed, quote unquote, to play it because I feel like that just adds more to the experience. There's like a lot of voice lines and stuff that weren't in the older version or that weren't acted or there were glitches that just seemed genuinely irritating. But in the newest version, which is the one that I played, it seemed a lot better than what people had originally made it out to be. And it was very good experience. And I enjoyed it. It's probably my second favorite FNAF game. So yeah. So this is my completed tier list of all of the FNAF games. And there's just help pointed down here. So that's my completed tier list. Thanks for watching.